listening for the signal in the receiver. Yolanda doesn't seem to be home yet, so I leave the following words on her answering machine. Today I discovered in the Israeli newspaper Haaretz, from November 27 of last year, an essay by Admiel Kosman. He attempts, starting with Dana International's victory in the Eurovision Song Contest in 1998, I sent that to you last year as a video, and the associated political unrest in Israel, to come closer to answering the question of the extent to which a former boy is entitled to represent the state of Israel as a woman, and, in a religious sense at that, in accordance with the Torah. I'll send it to you in the next couple of days, Yolanda, along with Shlomo Katz's Negro and Jew from 1967, which I've since perused with mixed feelings. This year, by the way, Germany was represented at the Grand Prix, just recently broadcast from Dana International's hometown of Tel Aviv, by a group comprised of Turks born in Germany, who were characterized in the German mass media as German-Turkish. It would seem more logical to me, let's just go all the way and, loosely according to your very own definition of African-American, to use the attribution Turkish-German. But right now, Yolanda, I can't get past this point anyway, which I would have really liked to have sorted out once and for all. Which also brings me to the central question of my call that drove me through the most repugnant of storms to this public telephone. What color is Mariah Carey? In the bus I read, over the shoulder of an older lady, that the British Queen Elizabeth II has African ancestors. An African line leads directly into the royal family by way of a German princess, a second additional one by way of the Russian poet Alexander Pushkin and Prince Philip. The wife of King George III, who reigned from 1760 to 1820, the German Charlotte von Mecklenburg-Strelitz, descends directly from the Portuguese King Afonso III, who had a child with an African paramour named Marouana Gio. Queen Elizabeth's husband, Prince Philip, also possesses an African ancestor since he is related to Alexander Pushkin. Pushkin's great-grandfather was Abram Petrovich Ganibal, an Ethiopian who was given as a gift to Tsar Peter the Great. Ganibal was then educated in France and appointed general upon his return to Russia. My bus passes the row of ghostly Robert Taylor homes. Once again, I'm not taking the Jeffrey Express along the coast, but the 55th and State Street bus through the South Side. Children come running out of the building entrances and, jeering, throw rocks at our vehicle. This leaves the driver completely unmoved. The older lady in front of me, however, folds up her newspaper, mumbles something unintelligible, and picks around at her hairnet. This morning, while getting dressed, I heard on the radio, "Down in Tierra del Fuego, the last Indian has now died at an advanced age. From now on, there are only half-breeds." When I get home, Tillmann is on the answering machine asking me about Mariah Carey's skin color. It occurs to me that my neighbor wears Mariah Carey's same eyebrows. She ordered the corresponding templates named after the popular singer from Eyebrows. At first, she needed to prune up her brows, which is to say, give them both a shorter and more slender form, dye them blonde, then don the stencils and apply a brownish powder to the exposed areas of skin and hair. Upon removal of the stencils, Shanice's eyebrows possessed the gently curved shape of Mariah Carey's exactly. Large photographs that Shanice had with her when she rang my doorbell proved it. "Did I want to try out the amazing stencils myself?" she asked, jauntily kicking one of her plush slippers into my living room. The accompanying powder gives the initially odd shape a soft, natural look, especially since you have an oval face just like Mariah, Yolanda. You have her eye color, too. I, however, had never studied Mariah Carey's features precisely, having always seen, whenever she popped up on MTV, just another generally good-looking blonde. But then Shanice said with stark abruptness, wagging her high-gloss photos, "Well, what do you think? Is she or isn't she?" I had no idea what my neighbor was getting at. "Yes, she is," Shanice said triumphantly with a bounce, and thus Mariah Carey was black. RuPaul says, "Who says black people have to be black?" Mariah Carey was born on March 27, 1970, on Long Island, New York. Her name apparently stems from an indigenous American language. At any rate, she was named after the song "They Called the Wind Mariah" from the Western musical Paint.